my retards, and welcome back to Magick Kool-Aid 14. This is segment 3, and it features a lady we have not seen in quite a while. I think that she was on Kooky Conspiratard Kool-Aid 19, Rise of the Star-Tards, so it's been like 6 months since we've checked this lady out. She's pretty interesting. Let's take a look at her channel here. Check about first, of course. We want to check out her website, but while that's loading, let's read this. Are you having a spiritual awakening? You are not alone. Subscribe today for regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Book a regression or consultation. Bingo! Let's see how much she charges for spiritual consultations. I will say, pretty reasonable prices here. Past life regression and therapy, 1 hour, $50. Pretty reasonable compared to some of the other stuff we've seen. Hour and 30 minutes is going to be $75. At least it's consistent pricing. General spiritual consultation, 30 minutes, $28. Honestly, not a bad deal if you're a retard. 45 minutes, $38. Oh, she also does a future life progression, $50. Meeting your spirit guides, that's going to set you back $38. Future life meditation, only $38 as well. So I guess one thing that I can say about Nicky Sutton is, while she is a dirty, disgusting scammer, at least she's not overcharging people. And honestly, she looks a little more professional than, let's say, Krista Raisa, who we know charges a shitload of money for her to talk about the psychic spiritual pains that you may receive from watching the Ghostbusters reboot movie. So, at least she's better than Krista Raisa. So, let's take a look at her videos, too. Damn, Nikki, you know, I was coming in guns blazing, but you not charging a lot of money kind of pulled the rug out from under me. Guided past life regression, eliminate limiting beliefs. Is consciousness produced by the brain? Having present moment awareness. Alright, will aliens reveal themselves? It's a big mishmash of bullshit. I saw one video where she says that the increase in starseeds has been dramatic over the last 20 years. And yeah, even though there's not one goddamn shred of evidence that an alien soul even exists, much less a human soul, we do know that there's an influx of starseeds to our planet. So the video we've chosen to watch is called Are You a 5D Entity? Here we go. Your spiritual guide.
Greetings, my dear.
Greetings!
Love and light. Are you a 5D or
No,
density
you're not.
entity? Please watch my video on what is 5D and what is
Your
the
voice
fourth
sounds fake.
density.
Please watch my video on what is the 5D shift. You sound like a fucking English nanny who would jump off a roof with an umbrella and float down to the sidewalk in the 1800s.
Also, it talks about what is the shift in vibration that's happening. I'll leave a link in the description to this
Alright,
video.
you do that.
Now, instead of referring to it as 5D or the fifth dimension, I'll refer to it as the fourth density. The shift in vibration to the fourth density of existence.
Why would you refer to it as
how
something?
Can you tell?
Why don't you say, are you shifting into the fourth density? Why say in your title that it's about... I don't get it. Why do these people have to make everything complicated? It's like they make these really complicated assertions or very complex ways to think about things, so you invest all of this time into understanding the complexity of what they're talking about, and you think because you understand the complexity that there must be something to what they're saying because you've spent all this time trying to understand it. You've invested in it. And so it is actually beneficial for these hacks to create intensely complex languages of their own to try to describe ideas in, to build the investment of their audience in their bullshit. It's a pretty simple tactic.
You're a fourth density entity.
Anyway.
Okay, so in my previous video on this topic, I described how and why the planet Earth is raising in vibratory frequency to a higher stage of existence.
Science has no evidence of this, but you do, Nikki, because you're a fucking spiritual healer.
Now, of course, we live on the planet Earth, so this affects us greatly. And everything is made of energy, as I always say. And we, as energetic beings on this planet, on this planetary sphere, are raising in vibratory frequency too. Now, some of us, our vibratory frequency is raising in accordance with the Earth and in accordance with this process
course, this is
alignment
all
with it,
intuited by
but
her.
others not so much. Now, in order to raise your vibration in alignment with the Earth's vibratory frequency...
Are you going to crack up laughing at your bullshit? Are you reading from cue cards? It doesn't look like it.
Orientation towards service to self or service to others. This is how it is defined. So if you're an entity with 50% or more service to others orientation,
oh, it's in percentages
then your
now?
vibratory frequency is enough to raise in accordance with the Earth itself.
How do you fucking know this? This is all bullshit you made up in your head. Also, your humor here, as you relay this information to us, and the various attempts that you have of concealing some laughter which appears to be bubbling to the surface, making me partially question your intentions. Maybe my read on you is not 100%?
Moving into the fourth density of existence. Now, I get that figure from the raw material.
Oh, you get it from a book.
Which really does provide useful and interesting information on this topic. That's my favourite channeling. And I mentioned it in the last video that I did on this topic. And the raw material tells how if you are 50% or more, roughly, in terms of service to others and service to self, if you're 50% or more service to others.
The problem is that people shift their intentions and motivations throughout their entire lives. Fluidity is a rule of emotions. They change, motivations change, ambitions change, entire premises for how you view reality change on a day-to-day basis. Now, maybe people do get stuck in certain mindsets, but it's not like someone is destined to have 50% service to others or more. That's just bullshit. And I honestly don't believe your work is a service to others. It's more a self-affirmation to yourself. You're inviting sycophants to come in and tell you you're a great spiritual healer. This is not about others, okay? Because what you're spewing is literally shit you read in other people's books. You're just regurgitating it. And whatever you're not regurgitating, you're intuiting. But even that is regurgitated. It's just recycled in your subconscious and it comes out in the shape of a brand new turd and you think you made it yourself. But guess what? This is all crap. We've heard it a million times before. We heard it 10 years ago. We heard it 20 years ago. Nothing's new. So why would you be spewing regurgitated information? Surely you know that this is nothing new, right? Surely you know that nothing is changing as a result of what you're saying. The only explanation is that you're doing it for your own fucking ego.
Type person in your behaviours and the way you perceive others and how much you want to help others. If you're 50% or more service to others, then you are harvestable. You'll move into the fourth density of existence.
Harvestable?
If you're
Guys, I can't wait to be harvested! That doesn't sound nefarious at all. I also want to point out that there is an inherent value to selfishness. I'm not trying to sound like Ayn Rand here, but oftentimes when people do things for themselves, it does help other people. But their motivation may not be to help others, okay? If I want to get rich and I start a company that provides jobs to people, I'm helping them, but not because that was my goal. Okay? My goal may very well have been service to self. And then a lot of times when people go out of their way to help others the way that you think you're doing, or the way that lots of spiritual gurus and teachers think they're doing, what they do is actually provide extremely dangerous advice to unstable people. What if you're reinforcing the delusions of insane people, people who seriously need to really understand how life works? And all you're doing is enabling them to continue living in fantasy world, thinking that they have magic powers and that makes them special. Therefore, they have no real motivation to go do anything that actually would benefit humanity. You should really think about it, because I know you're going to say it's not, but that's exactly what's happening.
To others, so you're primarily service to self-orientated, so that's in terms of gaining power.
Everything is black and white. There's no complexity to life. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, okay, Nikki? I think I need to hammer that home to you just slightly more.
Over others.
Until you get it.
Is self-serving, trying to convince others of your importance, trying to get others to worship you.
There's lots of
effectively.
people like you
It's
on
all about,
YouTube.
look at me, instead of caring about others.
Look at me, look at me. I have a big blue backdrop and it's in a circular frame, which I stand in the center of while telling you that I have psychic powers. But it's wrong to tell people to look at you because you're special, unless you're me because I'm a spiritual teacher. I think I'm getting your impression down.
Total lack of
better.
empathy, no sympathy, no caring, no understanding, anything like that. So if you're less than 50% service to others, mostly service to self, then as the raw material
So you're an
says,
empath
you'll
too,
incarnate on
We all
some
know what
other
that means.
third density planet, somewhere else in the universe. So
It hurts me too much to think about other people's problems because I'm an empath. So I'm just gonna think about myself. But I'm not a narcissist.
you can carry on your learning experience, your spiritual progression, till eventually you come around and then
I'm not special. Just give me $50 for 30 minutes of your time.
you can progress. Now, if you're a very higher proportion service to self, something like 95% or 98%,
It's all
I
that
think
simple.
it
It's all in
then you'll go
percentages.
into the fourth density negatives. There'll be some other planet somewhere that's all about power manipulation and control.
I'm getting some
a
Teal
really
Swan
strong
vibes
system
now.
in place with hierarchy
Wow, I
and
get it. This is a Teal Swan ripoff. It's just clicking right now. She's got the backdrops. She's got the photos. The only thing is she keeps herself in the bottom right corner. This is a total fucking British version of Teal Swan. How did we not get it? Now I'm wondering. Oh, I keep going back and forth. It's like a ping pong ball getting a read on you. Completely delusional retard who thinks she has magic powers, or dirty psychic vampire who likes to scam people. I don't know. What do you guys think?
and just lots of manipulation going on.
I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm just telling you that if you give me $50, I'll tell you that you have the soul of an alien. That's not manipulation.
So, and that's quite rare for someone to be that service to self orientated.
I called the police on Alora Snow. I hope they don't show up at my door while I'm making this voice. It's not going to look good for me.
So if you're
Just had to
just
throw that in
mostly
there in case
service
you're
to
watching,
self, but
Laura.
not like
They're coming to take a
really
report.
badly just self-serving and very
We know you're
selfish, if you're
watching.
just mostly service to self and incarnate elsewhere, because the earth itself is moving in vibration to fourth density positive.
Once again, there's no scientific evidence of a goddamn thing that I say.
Of a positive vibration, it's raising in vibration, a positive one. So one way to know that you are
Tell
a
us.
fourth density entity is that you feel like you primarily want to serve others as well as the self.
If
So-
you feel like you want to serve others, that means you're in the fifth dimension. Let me explain something. When you are a self-hating egomaniac who can't admit that you're a fucking narcissist, then what you do is you couch your desperate attempts to suck the life and energy out of other people as service to others. And you do it by pretending to be a psychic and selling psychic readings on the internet. Get a grip, Nikki, okay? You're not
just
a
a little
psychic.
bit more tipping
You're not a
into,
spiritual
so
leader.
50% or more helping others, service to
Alright.
others. So you could be looking after children, you could be caring about family members, thinking about other people's well-being as well as your own. So just to clarify, you're thinking about your...
Are you thinking about the well-being of the various insane, obviously mentally ill people watching your video who may take the things you're saying as a sign that they were right all along? I don't think you're thinking about the well-being of unbalanced people when you make videos like this, Nikki. And anyway, I'm running out of time for you, so I guess that we'll just finish up here and we'll get back to you at a later time, okay, Nikki? But I don't think we're done. And by the way, this is a great screenshot, okay? Let's screen cap this, everybody. It's just amazing. Good way to go out, Nikki. Anyway, I think this is her true face. It's vibrating from the fifth dimension into this video. So I'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Like this video if you're of a low vibration, and give it a thumbs down if you're of a high vibration, okay? I'll see you on the other side of the break.